Hey there, guys, and welcome back to Alex Invests. I'm Alex. I'm a business owner with a degree in economics, and I've been investing since I was 18 years old. So the markets are a little mixed this morning, but you know what? I like to be optimistic, and my portfolios are all actually very green right now. So we stuck with the green sign today. Today, I want to talk about a couple of lithium mining companies, actually, and these are going to be good for a little bit of diversification while still remaining in the EV space. I see these companies growing a lot in the future because of the demand for lithium that's going to increase over the next years, while these EV companies need that lithium. So before we get into it here, I just wanted to say, please like and subscribe. It helps me create content for you guys, and just so I can grow as a channel, and it really does help out the channel. So thanks, and let's just get into it here. So the three lithium mining companies that I'm looking at today is Alpha Lithium, Millennial Lithium, and Standard Lithium. So the two that I'm currently invested in are Alpha Lithium and Standard Lithium, but I'm also looking to get likely into Millennial Lithium. So currently worldwide demand for lithium has increased to over 350,000 tons of LCE. And LCE is basically just lithium carbonate equivalent, which is a general term that these mining companies use for the materials or the lithium that they're extracting and then selling to these EV companies and other companies that use their lithium. It's estimated by 2025, with just 14% of EV penetration, that this number would be over 1 million tons of LCE. So that represents an almost 3 times increase in demand than what we have currently. So I do see these companies growing a lot in the future, and I would recommend to invest in maybe one of these or two of these, depending on how good you're feeling about this specific industry. So the first thing I want to do with you guys here is just look at a map of where two of these lithium mining companies are actually located. And this is on the Alpha Lithium corporate presentation. But as we can see, they're both located in the lithium triangle, and this is an area which is very rich in lithium. So looking here, Millennial Lithium is right up here, and it says they have a $175 million market cap. I was looking at some other information, and it's actually probably closer around $112 million market cap, and they're at a price of $135 right now. And this is Alpha Lithium right down here. So as we can see right here, they have 100% ownership of the Tolilar Salar, which is one of the last remaining underdeveloped salars in the Salta province of Argentina. So underdeveloped, they own 100%. So I do see Alpha Lithium becoming bigger, because currently Alpha Lithium only has a $32 million market cap and a price of 0.4403. So we can see they're surrounded by these pretty big lithium companies compared to them, but they actually have quite a big area here for themselves. And we got to remember, this is underdeveloped land, which they've just basically started to develop here in order to produce this lithium. So I do see Alpha Lithium growing quite heavily here, especially when looking at some of these lithium companies around Alpha Lithium. They all seem to have much higher market caps, and they're much bigger. So I do see sort of Alpha Lithium getting to that point. We can also see this 27,500 plus hectares of secured land with proven existence of lithium, and offers drastically reduced exploration risk. So they already know that there's lithium in the ground, and they already know what they have to do to sort of mine out that lithium. So eventually they will become as big as these other lithium mining companies that we see around it. And I also see a lot of these other ones growing as long as they have the lithium to provide for the increased demand that we're going to see over the next 2 to 5 years. So the market cap and the price of Alpha Lithium right now is actually a third or less than the market cap of all the other surrounding lithium mining companies in that area. So like I said already, Millennial has a price of 1.35 right now, where Alpha Lithium only has a price of 0.4403. So I do think we're going to see Alpha Lithium grow a little bit more and a little bit more quickly here as they're developing their land and as they sort of start mining out this lithium faster. All right, so before we get into the charts here, I just wanted to show you guys Millennial Lithium's corporate presentation as well here. So first of all, I just want to show you guys the market view. Lithium, a cornerstone of a quiet industrial revolution, multi-year growth forecast. And I do completely agree with this. I do see this industry still being small, and it will be a revolution once sort of lithium picks up and more people need that to provide them with the necessary resources in order to produce lithium batteries and other sort of EV industry stuff. Like they say here, car makers, energy companies, technology firms. But what I really wanted to show you guys is actually down here. And so they say proven in 1 to 8 years, this much brine pumped, and right, all this, but really what I want to focus on is the average concentration of lithium, which is 470 milligrams per liter. Now, what's interesting about this is Alpha Lithium actually has their average concentration to be up to 504 milligrams per liter, which is higher than the amount that Millennial Lithium has, although they're almost 3 times as big as Alpha Lithium. What's interesting about this is once Alpha Lithium kind of gets their infrastructure going and gets working on sort of being able to pump up this lithium and creating LCE to then sell, they might actually become a bigger company than what Millennial Lithium could possibly be, just because of the area they're mining in and because of their higher concentration of lithium. Now, unfortunately, Alpha Lithium hasn't provided sort of the amount of LCE that they can produce because I think they're too early in the process, but I do see them becoming a very big company, and they're just at the very beginning stages here. So I think Alpha Lithium, if you're going to invest in one of these, is the way to go. All right, so now we're just going to look at the stock charts for these real quick. So I just want to show you guys the yearly chart first. So back in April, they were down at 0.3, and then they had this big run up here, and obviously big run up, we're going to see a big drop, especially mining companies and small ones at that. They do have quite a lot of price fluctuation, so there is definitely some risk involved with these companies. I'm not telling you guys these are for sure thing going to go up, but it is likely, given sort of the industry of the EV markets right now and how that's going and how that's going to continue to go moving forward in the next 2 to 5 years. So on the 3 months, they're down, and same with on the month. So I think right now is a pretty good time to invest in them. You don't have to invest in these guys right away. They're also just barely up on the day. But I would, if you're looking to get into one of these companies like Allif, then I would recommend getting into them sort of around this price point. I mean, I don't see too big of a jump in the next sort of month or two, so you guys can hold off and see what happens maybe. But I do think that eventually these guys are going to go much higher than their peak here at 0.9. So that right there is pretty much double your money already. So looking at Millennial Lithium now, we can see this company had a big run up around sort of September where they hit these all-time highs. And then obviously a little bit of a pullback. And today they're up 7.6%, right? And I don't think it's too late to get into this company, but I just wanted to show you guys this company is literally next to Alpha Lithium. So them running up this hard here, even today, just shows sort of how much extra demand there is. And once Alpha Lithium gets their infrastructure going, they're going to be just as big or bigger than Millennial Lithium, I think. But I also just want to show you guys the EPS here. So for 2020, they had an actual EPS of negative 0.04, which is pretty good considering 2019 they had a negative 0.11 EPS. And that's probably part of the reason we're seeing a run up here. Once this number gets positive, anytime an EPS gets positive, the stock is going to jump quite heavily. So again, if you're looking to get into this one, I would get into it again in the next year or so as well, and maybe wait for a bit more of a drop, because I mean, again, we could see a drop again like we saw here, maybe not as hard, but a little bit. All right, and finally, here's the stock chart for Standard Lithium. I know we didn't talk a lot about this stock, but maybe I'll do a separate video on it because I am also invested in this one. The reason I didn't talk much about it is because I do see maybe a bit of a drop coming here soon, because we had this big run up yesterday of 20%, you know? So that's a massive run up, and it makes me think that they're going to drop. But again, today up another 3.92%. So we can see where these lithium companies are headed, and they're headed in the right direction with the right demand on their side here from these EV companies and these other companies that need their lithium. Again, here we can look at their estimates for EPS in 2020, negative 0.06. Their actual EPS is negative 0.04. So that's another one of those reasons we're seeing these run-ups in these companies, right? They're beating estimates, and they're going to be positive EPS hopefully in the next 1 to 2 years. For Standard Lithium and Millennial Lithium, they're already pretty big companies, well, relatively compared to other mining companies, especially in the lithium industry. But Alpha Lithium, it's still down here, and I think this one specifically is at a great price moving forward, and we will see a lot of growth from this company especially. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for the video today. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Like I said at the beginning, it really does help out the channel, and I'm really looking to grow this channel. I think I've got great stock picks for you guys moving forward, so please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment. I always like getting comments. And other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.